Okay, thank you everyone. Again, thank you. Welcome everyone. Thank you again. Thank you very much for participating and thank you for making your time and coming. Thank you everyone. Thank you again. Thank you. Welcome everyone. Okay. Again, we now going to conclude it today. And we've been talking, have that time to practice and discussing the teaching of our great teacher, Buddha Shakyamuni, and as well as all those great masters, highly realized beings of the master of the loving kindness, the compassion, wisdom. That's what they embodied, and humble and simple, down to the earth. Really, truly, they are the beacon of light. Every generation, and throughout the centuries. So we are following in their light, in their wisdom, and compassion, our best capabilities. Again, to kind of activate those qualities in nature. And again, we heard so many times, we should not forget our intention. The intention and motivations are the fundamental and the foundation by every aspect of generally in the samsara activity or the activities of the path to the nirvana. But particularly this time, to our meditation practice, all that completely depended whether we are practicing with a group, whether we are practicing alone, or whether we are in the post-meditation state and just engage it with the different activities of the daily routine things. But if we have good attitude, good mind, good motivation, always in the teaching said, it will transform every activities of our body, our activities of the speech, and then of course mind is we discussing. So mind is really the engine. Mind is the primary cause of everything. Where we like to turn that. So therefore, kind of remembering those thoughts is so important, and remember that by you is so important, and remember that by me also so important. We are all in one boat. We are going together in the path to the enlightenment. And therefore, again, re-strengthening our beautiful intention, motivation of the joy and appreciation, grateful, and those are so important and all the time. Every time, not just once in a while, or while we're practicing time or something, but every time. And then bodhicitta. Bodhicitta is the essence of all the enlightened teachings, everything what teaching said, and what the great master Pema Rinpoche said. If you have one thing, that will be enough to get enlightenment. And we don't have one thing that will not, then it will won't work anything. Even we're practicing Dzogchen, even we're practicing Mahamudra, even we're practicing sophisticated, practicing thinking kind of in the brain or intellectually that, but it's not going to work. What is that? Is bodhicitta. If we have bodhicitta, that will fulfill all the goals. This is not just the great master, Pema Rinpoche said, every great masters, the gracious teacher, Buddha Shakyamuni pronounced that strongly, and then continually carried all those practitioners in great masters, really in the teaching. So therefore, we shouldn't kind of ignore or forget, bodhicitta is kind of, again, casual and basic things. I like Dzogchen, I like Salong, Tomo practice, all those, then it just becomes the name. There's no fiber, there's no nutrition, there's no essence. It's just only kind of like what's called full of calories, really full of calories. They may be popped up and get all those robbers entered. Those robbers we discussed. Great Master Nagarjuna said, watch out those robbers. They're always waiting to take the opportunity to undermine our goal in the practice and meditation. Then it really escaped away, kind of carried away. Therefore, activating bodhicitta is the essence of what every practice in the teaching said. And not just only the Mahayana. In the foundation, Theravada teaching, as I said many times, the gracious teacher, Buddha Shakyamuni teaching is teachings of non-violence, kindness, compassion for all living beings. But in Mahayana teaching and the Vajrayana teaching, emphasize that little more, emphasize that. So we're following that with those understanding, and then with the with those pure realizations, 3 Vajra, or the 5 perfect status, or 3 Kaya status, as we're discussing. So those are very, very important, and always, again, it's always, every time when you practice and meditate, reflecting and bring up those thoughts as much as we can. I mean, again, not just you, we all really need that. All these things very much. And with that, then I think just like to highlight that again, all practices can be summarized into three. Those I said so many times. This time I said, and I always said, I'm sure you heard this from many other great masters, and those are the beginning noble, middle noble, and concluding nobles. Beginning noble is what we've been discussing, the attitude, motivation, joy, and appreciation. Those are the beginning motivations. That is, with that attitude, and then you sit down on the cushion or on the chair, wherever you do, and into the 3 frames. Again, beginning noble, middle noble, and concluding nobles. Beginning noble is, as I said the other day, and that we all should kind of think, reflecting the essential point of the physical, essential point of the speech, and the essential point of the mind. When we sit down on the cushion, when we make some time to do the practice for half an hour, 1 hour, 40 minutes, or maybe even 10 minutes if you have. But if you can do for about an hour or 40 minutes, half an hour is quite a good amount. Good, I think so, out of the 24 hours. And I think so if we spend the time for the practice, something that is so important to discover our treasures, richness of the nature of the mind, if we spend it dedicated for that, for half an hour, 40 minutes, 1 hour is just really quite good. If you can spend a little more with that time, when you have time, then do that. I mean, it's really practice. We need have more energy, more maturity, more this practice. We need time, more time, because to defeat all our habit patterns of so many lifetimes, we have to clear away those habit patterns connected with the ego clinging and the negative emotions. We have to clear away and reveal our richness treasures. Those are really need a little time to do that again and again. So spend a little time if you can do. Really, that in the beginning, novel, sitting down on a cushion. And the first essential point of the body, as I said before, when we all know, is to have good postures. Or even you don't have can't do good postures on sitting on the cushion, 7 postures of the Buddha Vajrayana, and then sitting on the chair, back spine straight up, and kind of let it be lined up with all the chairs, so kind of like more balanced, relaxed, calm, and peaceful. And in the teaching mentioned, and of course always they said, release all the tensions, just trying to stay more calm and peaceful. In the teaching it said, when body is straight, balanced, that naturally will help to balance our nerve systems, channels. Those are in the teaching always mentioned to use the similar channels. All that. So that is the kind of physical essential point of physical. Then, when with the physical essential point of the mind, the speech is taking care of the breathing exercise, purification. Those are known as related with the speech. Speech, again, is what is speech. According to Buddhism, speech is no other than our wind, our mind, combined together, mind activated the wind and joined together the mind and the wind and echoing through the channels, the area of the where sound comes, and then sound comes out. So it is primarily caused by, of course, mind, but very big support of the wind. Wind of our body is, again, our breathing is part of the wind. And then, of course, in the Vajrayana teaching often mentioned there's 5 different principles of winds. Those are teachings. I won't all those talk again. You will know those things. If you like to, where you can find a simple way to click the button to look to the Google. Google, I'm sure you will find all those things. The master Google is ready to tell you all that, everything. So push the button and get the fire, whenever you like to know. If you don't like it, kind of not big deal now, and just clean up the breathing, breathing purification. What the reason the teaching mentioned? Because the energy of our kind of like conceptions and thought and stressful, all those anxieties are really hovering on the channels. They kind of like pervaded, saturated the channels, nerve systems. Then our body and the physical, everything becomes a little heavy, and mind becomes also a little bit unclear. And therefore, so the breathing exercise is very important. And if you know the breathing exercise, and also you can ask Sangha members, if you like to know breathing purification exercise, those people who don't know, you can do. Or otherwise, just do big, deep inhale or exhale. Deep breathing, thinking all the pollutions, all the toxins, and all the kind of unnecessary thought and conception related with the 3 poisons, ignorance, attachment, and anger, is completely released outside. Kind of do that. Deep breath, gently release that. And we do that occasionally, generally throughout the day. Sometimes in the teaching, really it refreshes ourselves. It's quite good. So release that. Do that. We don't have to do the breathing exercise. Just do deep breathing kind of thing. And then think, inhale all the good energy, good air, refined air of the sky, refined 5 elements, sky and the wind, earth, water, fire, all that really your kind of a refined essence air you bring from the nostrils. Gently inhale and bring down to the below navel center, and then gradually expand it to every directions. Those that we do 3 times in the teaching says really good. So that is basically essential point of the speeches. Essential point of mind is same thing what we discussed. Have good attitude, good intention, joy and appreciation, grateful, thankful. Thankful ourselves being as a beautiful human being with 18 endowments. All these luxury things. Thankful with our family members, friends, all this so special, so beautiful. Because of all of them, we are here. Really, all that thankful, grateful, how wonderful, how special. And then, mingle that with Bodhisattva. That wishing everyone is happy and joy, and they have the cause of happiness and joy, and free from suffering and sadness, same thing. Those are beautiful intention, essential point of the mind. So essential point of the body, speech, and the mind. Once those all kind of you develop those, and then also you can have those thoughts. Always in the teaching said, 4 point of the training of the mind. And those are also some known as also 4 renunciations. Those are in the teachings so important. It will bring us down to the ground. Otherwise, even we practice all this kind of hovering in the sky is not really observing. So this 4 point of the train of the mind or for renunciation. It's so important. It will anchor down us. What great master Gyurme Rinpoche, great Khenpo Rinpoche said, the anchor of the practice is for renunciation or for point of the true training of the mind. That is anchor. Always, if we can do every session, if you can do, not just every session, throughout the day, if we can reflect on those. Practice is not just once in a while. Practice if you can do, if you remember, if we can remember, I'm not just saying you, if we remember that throughout the day, life is precious. Also impermanent. Looking at all the stars and moons, clouds and birds and trees, everything is impermanent. Not just only the object is impermanent, subject, me, impermanent. How many things change from I have the memories until now? This is not just imagination, making up things. It's true. That's the gracious teacher Buddha taught exactly the way things are. It's all like that. Those are grosser level what we respect like impermanent. Subtle level we can detect it. Instantly it's changing. There is no stop, no pause. In the teaching said, the moment it existed, that very moment it to move. That's the way. So reflecting those. Cause and effect are inevitable. Whatever we do, it bears similar result. Those are known as the karma. It never changes, never reverses. Whatever the cause and the condition has, and that really bears the same fruit. That's the law of the external, that's the law of the inner our mind. Our inner mind, happiness, peace, happiness, love and compassion bring happiness. And the anger and the jealous attachment and those like ignorance will bring sufferings. That's true. It's not making up. So, looking to the truth the way things are, those are known as the anchor of the practices. Then samsara has a lot of trouble. Samsara is so many troubles that I won't talk those all. So many really challenges. But also in this upper realm of the human realm, even there's a lot of challenges, but there's also so many bright situations, bright sunshines in our life, so many times. Both are in changing states. There's nothing is permanent. And therefore, everything is in our under our control, our side, and our favor. Take the advantage and do improve our inner treasures. Treasure of love, compassion, kindness, open heart. Often said open heart, but open mind. Relax, not too tangible, grasping, clinging. Clinging. That clinging is, even clinging is not existing. It's open. Bring that fresh air. Those are that. Those are known as four renunciations. And that's what the anchor of the practices. Then great master, it's not just only this master, Gyurme Rinpoche said, the entrance to the role of the practices is devotion and faith. Faith is entrance. So feel, and what is the faith? Faith is joy and feel the confidence, not lingering. Once it's good, we shouldn't linger. Lingering is obstacle, obscurations, laziness, self-confidence, pushing down ourselves, own self. Don't linger. Have courage. Feel joy and feel faith, strong faith. Buddha is excellent, excellent teacher. Dharma is excellent practices. Sangha is a perfect spiritual community, spiritual friends. Om Guru Deva Dakina really have those thoughts. Very beautiful thoughts. And then Mangal Vidin Bodhicitta. Wishing Bodhicitta, actualizing Bodhi, actively engaging those four immeasurables. Immeasurable in the heart and the mind while you're sitting down. So those are all known as the beginning noble. Middle noble is then principal part of the practices. Those are then Vajrayana teaching. Creation stage of practice of the visualization, completion stage of the practice of the dissolving. Those are whatever you're practicing. Creation stage is visualizing something did Buddha that we go many times. Trying to visualize the Buddha. Right in front of the sky or ourselves. But that also started as I've been told that I taught a little bit, and of course we all know, started from the great emptiness of the wisdom and the compassion united together appeared those Buddhas. Ourselves order right in front of that. Buddha is not just a regular, is the embodiment of love and compassion, wisdom, our own nature, reflected that form. And we, by the power of the all living Buddha, empower that. Right in front of our Buddha visualization, or ourselves empowered by that. And that is knowledge. Then, really with confidence, visualize. And it's all started from the great emptiness and compassion. And the chanting mantra is a voice of love and compassion, wisdom. Wisdom, this is nothing else. And then all the kind of instructions as it spoke, then it will clear away all the habit patterns, bad habit patterns, revealing our beautiful natures, and clear away all the channels, the wind, and the mental habit patterns, clear away. It's such a great purification, healing practices. And that is the kind of brilliance of the visualization of the creation stage of practices. And then completion stage of practice of the dissolving. That is then what you visualize. Now it is dissolved. Where it dissolved? To the mind. Where it comes from, fundamentally, all that. From our mind. That all visualizations, everything, come from our own mind. Follow the instruction of the great teacher, Buddha Shakyamuni and Guru Pema, but it came from our mind. Now, it went back to the source, where it come from. And that's dissolving. It dissolved back to the source. How it dissolved? Beyond any focus, beyond any imagination. And vastness, openness status. Vastness, openness state of our own mind. As we've been discussing, and you all know, mind is the sky. There is no mind existing, tangible, that we can hold. Ask our mind. Our mind. It went back to that status. When you relax on that status, without beyond the subject and object, that is Dzogchen meditation. There is relax. Now, as you receive the instruction from the teacher, Dzogchen teaching, now meditate to that status. Meditation is also, according to Dzogchen teaching, is not the effort. Maintaining as it is. Meditation also in the teaching said, there's nothing to do except making more familiar with our nature. If since it's our nature, why I have to make familiar? Because we alienated ourselves. We wandered and carried by the force of one's own creation of dualities. Duality is not nature. Therefore, is troublemakers. It makes trouble. Trouble to me, trouble to the others. And nature is calm, peace. Duality is like hurricane, or tropical depressions, or thunderstorms, snowstorms. It has nothing to do with the sky. Sky is open, clear. Similarly, mind. Nature of the mind is like that state. Those are the teachings mentioned, all the teachings. So now we were going, by the teaching of the great teacher Buddha Shakyamuni and Guru Pema Samba, we're going back to that nature. As I said, it's our nature, it's my nature. Relaxing that state, all the instructions, and applying that. During that time, thought and conception can come. Thought and conception cannot be stopped. It will come. It's normal. We need thought and conceptions. Don't follow. Don't identify. Don't make discriminations. Oh, I like this. I don't like that. We started that. That is duality. Hope and fear. Hope and fear is duality. Hope and fear is root of samsara. We're going out of that hope and fear. Not just out, we're dissolving hope and fear into the natural status as it is. And continually relaxing on that, maintaining that, is then the Dzogchen meditation. I mean, that you all know. We all read so many teachings and we read so many books. That is Dzogchen meditation. Somehow it's difficult to maintain that immediately. Lead that. But all this happens to everyone. Then do some shamatha meditation. Shamatha meditation means calmly abiding. Calmly abiding means we take some support. Support. That is also like support from the object or support without object. Object, putting some kind of small object in front of you, crystals or whatever you use, small ball, small thing, and focus onto that object. With how? Our two eye and as well as our mind, all three come together. So in a way, some teaching mentioned, focus mind to the eye is focusing to the object. Focus, hold that. Shamatha means we are holding, trying to stay with that. That shamatha is what in the teachings mentioned, is taming the mind. Because wild mind is so wild, so kind of in a way spoiled, it's just difficult to rest. So therefore, we are taming the mind, holding that object. If we are able to maintain that for 1 minute, then it's good. It's a good success. You're taming. And somehow at the beginning time in the teaching mentioned too, at the beginning time, our mind is become more busy, looks like. More busy than ever. Ever. In the teaching also mentioned that is not more busy because you meditate, but we are detecting now. Before we don't detect, we don't know. But now, putting mind on the radar screen. So you're detecting. But without tired, bored, all kind of like disappointment, we continue to do it with a joyful effort to the practice of meditation and courage and commitment with the devotion and bodhicitta, then mind will become more calmer and calmer. Calmer and calmer, more stable, longer and longer can stay. Those are the teaching and said and we heard from the teachers. And then do the Dzogchen meditation. Dzogchen meditation is, again, there is also Dzogchen meditation has, you all know, has also a different stage, a way to pursue that. Dzogchen meditation. But the direct Dzogchen meditation is, in the teaching mentioned, looking to the lookers. That's a very powerful technique, really. Mind is always looking outside. But this moment will mind inwardly focus it to the mind. When you inwardly focus it, then there's nothing to see. Particularly anything. Nothing to see is in the teaching always mentioned, that is seeing. That is seeing. So don't feel that you have to see something. Something. Always in the teaching mentioned. Nothing seeing is you seeing. Now, abiding that nothing to see without distracted. So abiding that state is without distracted. Distracted by why? 5 or 6 object senses. Eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and the mental status. Imagination. Don't distract it. Stay to that status. That state is the fresh state, and the instant or the fresh present state free from the 3 times. Open it. Free from 3 times. 3 times is conception status, created by the conception. But you now went back 3 times, beyond the 3 times. Beyond the 3 times is also in the mundane level, source of 3 times. So you go to the ordinary instant status and then relax. That is then what in the great teacher Buddha mentioned, open, vastness, inconceivable, inexpressible, unborn, unceasing, natural like the sky. Those are the teaching mentioned, and we always chant. That is really the nugget. Now we discovered. We maintain in that status as long as you have time, or you can do. So those are the really about the middle noble. Concluding noble is we've been discussing this dedication and aspirations. Now doing that, you accumulate the merit. You accumulate both merits. Both merit means what? Accumulation merit versus the merit. And we must accumulate both merits. Now we should not that neglect it like that way. We should kind of conquer that, keep up that, and store that, register that. And that's called dedication and aspiration, praise. That is the 3rd noble. Dedicate the merit, feel the presence of all the enlightened beings we've been discussing. And you know too. Really feel their presence. Now you're dedicating that merit with joy, with appreciation, with kind of in a way that you're proud that I did something meaningful that benefited to me and to all the beings, thinking of every living being. Thinking about doing performance activity, thinking about all living beings is special. Correct teacher, Buddha Shakyamuni said, all the masters said, it's really special, very special. We always do things for ourselves, thinking of that, or our me or ourselves. But thinking all the living beings doing something sincerely, genuinely, is very special. This is the first dawning something that maybe never, that dawn, D-A-W-N, never dawned before. Something is dawning now in our mental spaces. How amazing, how wonderful. Feel happy in the joy. Not just feel happy in the joy ourselves. In the teaching mentioned, Also, you visualize all the invisible beings, gods, asura, animals, everyone is rejoicing. Wow, you did something wonderful. I'll be thinking of every living being. How awesome, how beautiful. Really thought, we thought. Inspire ourselves, not just put that in the corner of the dark. Inspire ourselves. That thinking, wishing, I will do more things. And dedicate the merit to all living beings for their joy and peace, happiness, free from suffering, sadness, finally for their enlightenment, for Buddhahood, enlightenment. And at the same time, that is what accumulate merit, that is your dedicated. Now, aspiration prayer, what we want with bodhicitta. May all living beings have happiness. I mean, all that praise, we do dedication prayer, which named as dedication, but all that our wish. May Buddha's teaching remain for a long time. May the holder of the practitioners remain a long time, healthy and joy and peaceful, with great enthusiasms. Really. And then there's no more war, no more earthquakes, no more natural disasters, disease, sickness, famines, all that we join. It's aspiration prayer, what we want, based upon the bodhicitta. And to our family, to our friend, or to myself, that I like to become one with beautiful beings, that I can benefit for all sentient beings. As like a Manjushri, as like the Bodhisattva Samanabhadra, or as like the Buddha Shakyamuni and Guru Pema Sambhava, may I can follow according your activities, abilities you did. May I quickly discover my innate Buddha nature, so that I can help in sentient beings. I can join with all the Buddha Bodhisattvas to help for all living beings. Thinking all those beautiful wishes in the teaching said is so beautiful. Is that is known as aspiration prayers. So those are really kind of, I thought to talk a little bit, highlight and a reminder, and in a way to remind it. And then, so that's my kind of talk today. And thank you very much, everyone. Okay. And then you all know that we didn't go through everything. So that all these teachings didn't able to go through, and I didn't go fast and didn't just kind of went through fast. I went a little slowly and kind of trying to remind to all of us let us practice the meditation. So we went there. That also means that in the next year, and we all pray to each other. So we all are bright eye and bushy tails, and get again have the opportunity to discussing rest of these practices. So that's my kind of little wishes, and so that's it. Thank you, okay. Thank you, everyone. Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you, okay. Thank you. Now we do little practices, and that is we have also Dana Chakra, so offerings. So we do the practices such as start with 7-line prayer and mantra of practice on Guru Pema Sambhava, and then we do the Dharma Pala practices and Gana Chakra, or the short soap prayers, and that is which is all is in this our green booklet. So then, green booklet. So we start, and now again we do 3-minute meditation, and then after that we do the 7-line prayers.